Almost 6 years ago, the young kids of Stranger Things stole our hearts out of our very chests. And just look at how time has passed. All of them have grown up into amazing adults. And, well, we're emotional. Millie Bobby Brown, the star of the show, is now 18 years old and will make one more appearance as 11 in the 5th and final season. Or will she? In this video, let's talk about what her future holds. First up, could there be a potential spin-off role in the works? The 80s themed sci-fi television series became an immediate hit with audiences all over the world. The show centers around a group of friends living in Hawkins, Indiana, one of whom goes missing. Enter 11, a girl with telepathic abilities who is the only one who can control the monster loose in their town and helps to defeat the Demogorgon and find the missing friend. With her shaved head, cool abilities, and innocent eyes, 11 was instantly everyone's favorite superhero. What wasn't there to love? The young girl had been mistreated and experimented on and had escaped. Now it seemed she had found friends and later even a father figure. When the latest season was released, it became one of the most watched shows on Netflix. And now that we know season 5 will be her last, fans are wondering if there's something else lined up for the characters we can't bear to part with. We've got good news for you straight from the series creators. The Duffer Brothers have confirmed that a spin-off series based on the show is in the works, and don't expect the series to be anything like its predecessor. In fact, they've announced that the show will be vastly different from anything that they've worked on before. Now, this is exactly what we all wanted to hear. No one wants to leave Hawkins or the Upside Down behind, and we do want to learn more about the creepy parallel universe that's housed Vecna all that time. But are the stars on board? Millie seems to be moving on. When Total Film tried to discuss a possible role for her in the spin-off, the actress brushed it off. Instead, she would prefer it if another young child was cast in her place to play the character. She didn't separate herself from the project completely, though. Millie stated that she was completely on board to help the new actor navigate the role. Next up, why is Millie hesitant? While some of you may be wondering why Millie wouldn't want to return to the show, we're working on understanding her statement. For one, the 18-year-old has proved herself as a really talented actor. She grasped the audience's attention as a mainly silent Elle. And how do you think she managed that? The answer is, she's just that good. That's why she doesn't have to keep coming back to Stranger Things. She's working on other projects, such as Enola Holmes, on which she's also a producer. She's looking for exciting stories to work on, and right now, it seems to be the teenage detective. She explained that she was completely focused on Enola Holmes at the moment, and she wants to continue working on her newest project instead of returning to Stranger Things. It's not that she doesn't love her time on the show, but we think she's just grown up to love the more independent and fun character. Following up, what would an 11 spin-off be about? Viewers expect the story to be neatly wrapped up by the end of the 5th season, or so we hope. And if that happens, what story are the Duffer Brothers planning to tell? Is it possible that the existence of a spin-off could point to the fact that Elle dies in the final season? And maybe that's why Millie is so keen to let a younger actor take on her role. Millie's less than enthusiastic response also confirms that she will not be returning to the spin-off, but she may change her mind. Just look at Hugh Jackman. He's back to play Wolverine after repeatedly confirming that it was his last project as the superhero. So there's always hope. Once season 5 ends, one thing we can be sure of is that Vecna will meet his end, but that won't necessarily mean that the Upside Down will cease to exist. We've only seen Hawkins in that parallel universe, and there are so many more places to explore, and hopefully terrifying monsters to meet. Remember Callie from season 2? Yeah, we still don't know what happened to her, and if season 5 doesn't address her presence, the spin-off may be the perfect way to explore the other kids that were experimented on. Think about it. 11 was lucky to have stumbled upon her loving friends, Hopper and the amazing Joyce Byers. Others may not have been so lucky. If they've been finding their way, they could return as a possible villain. We can theorize all we want, but that doesn't mean anything. We'll have to wait for the Duffer Brothers to let us in on the newest series. Coming up, what could season 5 have in store for 11? Let's get on with it. We know that 11 did most of the heavy lifting when it comes to defeating any monster from the Upside Down. And no, we didn't forget Nancy, don't worry. But we are focusing on the telepath right now. So 11 overcame her own issues when she worked with Henry Terry to remember their first fight all those years ago. She remembered that she had opened the portal but overcame it and found her powers once again. Let's not forget, Brenner's finally dead too. But what's important is that Elle was finally able to let him and her past go. Her fight continued when she faced Vecna again. That's a lot for someone that young. Looking at her track record in the 4th season alone, most will be sure that she'll get everything back on track. But we think this time, Elle will be sharing the spotlight with Will Byers. Last time we saw Will, he implied that he could feel what was happening in the Upside Down. According to some theories, Elle will face Vecna one last time, while Will faces off against the Mind Flayer. That sounds like an intriguing battle to us. Coming up, Eleven had a really hard task in Season 2. You may be thinking, enough is enough. Eleven's been through a lot, and she needs a break from everything. But the Duffer Brothers had something else in mind. According to their series of crazy that almost happened, the writers revealed that Season 2 had a different ending for Brown's Eleven. According to them, in previous drafts, Eleven was meant to mercy kill her mother. In the 2nd season, Eleven was reunited with her mother for the first time since being taken as a child. Eleven finally learns what the audience already knew, which is that her mother, Terry, is in a catatonic state. Dr. Brenner had administered electroshock therapy to prevent her from trying to rescue her daughter again, and it had left her unresponsive. After learning about her siblings with the help of her telepathic skills, she leaves her mother in the care of her aunt. So Terry was allowed to live, while Eleven was spared from killing her mother. And we can't thank the Duffer Brothers enough for changing their minds. Finally, the Duffer Brothers axed another horrifying storyline. If there's one other character that needs a break from the horrors of the show, it's Will Byers. The youngest, and easily the kindest kid in the group, has been through a whole lot of pain. He was the first person to come face to face with the Demogorgon, apart from Elle, of course. When he finally does make it out, he's still haunted. He repeatedly hallucinates and eventually gets possessed by the Mind Flayer itself. Since then, the Duffer Brothers have allowed him to take a back seat. In the 3rd and 4th seasons, Will has mainly been in the background, trying to adjust to the world after the traumatizing events. Well, now we've learned that the Duffer Brothers weren't done traumatizing the kid. While they let Terry live, they killed off Bob. Remember him? Sean Astin portrayed the lovable character and unfortunately met a gruesome death when he was eaten alive by a bunch of demo dogs. Turns out there was another end in store for him, no less horrifying than this one. They tweeted that Bob would be killed by a possessed Will. Once again, we're glad they changed their script. Earlier, Bob had tried to help Will face his nightmares. The kid took his advice and unfortunately opened himself to being possessed by the Mind Flayer. If Will had killed Bob, they'd both have been horrified by the turn of events. Bob would have known his advice failed the young Will, and Will would have to live with the knowledge that he killed his mother's boyfriend. We don't know about you, but that's a lot for a 12-year-old to deal with. And if you ask us, the edits were absolutely necessary. That's a wrap for this video. What story do you think will be explored in the Stranger Things spin-off series? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching.